Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening or their ascension process. And this video is going to just go over 10 signs to help you understand if you are or not a wanderer. Now, that's just another sort of word very similar to Lightworker and Starseed and Indigo and Wayshower and Old Soul. A wanderer is a term out of a book, the Law of One series, several books actually. And it basically is a blanket, broad term that is describing anybody, any soul that chose this exact precise time in history to incarnate onto the planet because they want to help. Because the planet is changing, it's shifting, the people are sort of stuck. And all these souls, all these different types of souls have come here to help raise the frequency of the planet and help the people break out of these chains they've been sort of bound in and ascend to a happier existence. So number one, you're empathic, you're sensitive to an uncomfortable degree. You're overly sensitive, you're overly empathic, and not only can you feel on a physical level all the dark energy that sort of underlies the physical experiences that we witness, but you can actually sometimes, many times, feel other people's heavy emotions as if they're your own in your body, and you're just stuck in this place that's quite heavy, quite dark, quite dense, and you feel it all so much, and it's a little bit maddening in the beginning. Number two, you're just super wise. You're a wise cat. You might have even been told, oh, you're an old soul. Huh. You might have even gotten feedback for something you've said, just your attitude. People notice. You notice, you know it. Things are just obvious to you. You're wise beyond your years. Some of you are very young and yet have the wisdom of an old sage. Number three, you just have an unusual discontentment and lack of acceptance for how the world is. Meaning the world is incredibly dark and corrupt and scary and wild and fear-based, and there's a lot of pain and suffering going on, and it drives you bananas. You can't sit with it. You can't just sit passively and say to yourself, well, it is what it is. No, something's got to be done. You got to do something. We got to do something, right? That's your attitude. Which is fitting because, again, you came here to do something about it, and that's why you feel that way. That feeling is just going to grow as you grow more sensitive, which is just, you're going to get more sensitive as time goes on. You can become more aware of just how dark things are, to the point where you're going to have no choice but to change. You want something done right, you're going to do it. You got to do it yourself, and you're going to be one of those people to do it. You have a super strong need to be fulfilled. You might even word it differently, but you have this expectation, this longing for a sense of fulfillment that can't even really quite be put into words. And you seek this out there in relationships and careers and in life situations, and you're not finding it. You're not finding it. Maybe you've never even experienced it, yet you're still looking for it. This sense of like completion, completeness, wholeness, fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness, peace, inner peace. None of us really found it yet. We're all looking for it. Where other people just seem more content the way things are. You long for something deeper, and you don't even quite know what it is, but that longing is there, and it's very real. Number five is you have a strong sense of purpose. That has to do with you helping in some way. You don't have any sense that your purpose has anything to do with you just benefiting yourself. You have a sense of purpose that involves helping. Helping people, helping animals, helping the planet, helping your friends and family, helping. You want to help. You don't feel happy not helping. A lot of you are finding you're at a job or a life situation where you're just not getting that. You just don't feel you're helping to your maximum potential. And as this happens, you start to just feel like, I came here for a reason. I have a purpose. It's to help. God, I just don't know what it is. But you'll find it. And that's why you're here, to find what that is and then do it. And it's going to help a lot of people, and you're going to feel very whole and fulfilled in doing so. Number 6, you don't really bat an eye at stories of the paranormal or divine or the mystical. They're believable to you. Not that you even, a lot of you guys actually have experienced them, but you just have an open mind to that sort of thing. Whether you grew up in a religious household or whatever or not, you are open-minded to such stories. And I'll just give you an example. I'll tell you one of mine, and we'll see if you believe it or not. It is true, though. I was 18 years old. I was sitting at the foot of my bed in a drug treatment facility. It was like my 3rd or 4th time there. And I could not stop using heroin. I was a junkie about 10 years ago. And I was just sitting at the foot of my bed, sobbing. My drugs were wearing off, and I was starting to feel these miserable withdrawal symptoms, as a few of you might relate to. And I was crying. And then I just turned to anger, and I was yelling. I was not screaming, but I was yelling. No one heard me or anything, but I was yelling at God. I didn't believe in God. I was this young punk kid. My parents fortunately didn't force anything upon me and let me kind of think for myself. But I was yelling at God, asking, why would you have brought me so low? I was 18 years old and I was suicidal. I wanted just to jump out the fucking window. And then all of a sudden I was gone. I was just gone. I have no memory of going anywhere, no transitional experience. I was just gone and found myself in this other place, this divine realm of light. This place had a beaming aura and energy of love. And if that wasn't blissful enough, this angel, I swear to you, this angel appeared out of left freaking field and approached me. And I could feel this angel was beaming with it was like his own source of love. And it came up to me. I can almost never tell this story without like getting weepy, because I brought back to it, and this angel put its wings around me. And we just flashed back, and it helped me. It just sort of took me to all these different experiences in my past, and I could see them from a wiser vantage point. And it gave me clarity as to why I was an addict and the folly in my ways and so forth. And then I gasped out of bed. Apparently I had fallen asleep for 8 hours, which is not heard of if you're withdrawing from heroin. Let me tell you, you don't sleep for weeks. And I slept all night, and I gasped out of bed, and I was like, what the hell just happened to me? Holy shit. And I wrote it all down. So what do you think? Am I bullshitting or what? I don't believe most of you who just heard that think I am, and I'm not. It honestly did happen to me. Leads me to my next point. You guys are human lie detectors. You can smell bullshit 20,000 miles away. And it's not that you're just super analytical in your mind. You can just feel, you can sense when something's off, when something doesn't quite sit well. It's something that's hard to describe, but you could just almost like experience like glitches. And when people are speaking not from their truth, you know it. You can feel it. You can sort of almost see it. It's obvious to you. And this is a very helpful skill to have. Sometimes it's a little bit depressing when you realize how phony everyone is, or so many people can be, and how sort of narcissistic and self-motivated people are. But nonetheless, you can't help but see the truth in almost anything, or the lack thereof. And a lot of the wanderers, including you, have a certain look about them, a certain look in your eyes that, again, it's almost impossible to really describe and capture it. But I see it when I speak to a lot of you guys on these Skype sessions. It's amazing the demographic I speak to. It's not just males between 20 and 30. It's a pretty even balance of all ages, both sexes. And I speak to so many of you guys who come from such different walks of life all over the country, different ages, different interests, and all of you have that look in your eye that I cannot still for the life of me just put into words, but it's a look where almost like I know you from somewhere, and you guys might feel that with me. That's why you guys like the channel, and you see that in other people scattered throughout the world. There's a look that you can just perceive, and you have it too. Number 9, you might sense the extreme limitations of your ordinary waking perception and state of consciousness. You just somehow know that there's way more to life, to the world, than you can like see and touch and taste and feel. A lot of you are starting to kind of sort of become more psychic and now are seeing more. But for at least the way I had it when I was younger, I had this desire to what I would always say in my head from the Doors song, Break On Through. It was, I wanted to break on through. That song just, oh my God, it got me going. Break on through the other side. The gate is straight, deep and wide. Break on through, you know. It would just get me so fired up. I didn't know what I was wanting to break through to. I just knew there was something confining me. Some of you are so sensitive, you might even feel this in your body. You might feel like, what the hell is this body I'm stuck in? Like you just want to just fly around. You have this silly notion that you're just meant to be flying and floating around and you're stuck in this hard body that's always achy and feeling like shit and getting sick all the time and weighing you down and creaky and you just feel trapped. You just feel sort of like you really have descended into a thicker, more dense realm and you're kind of stuck here for the time being. Number 10, you know, you sense, you feel that there is something beyond words, so big, so massive, so paradigm shifting, drawing closer, drawing near. You can sense there's a change transpiring, a culminating, a stirring of energy, and you feel like it's leading somewhere. It's building and building and building and building, and it's getting ready to